Alright, yes and surround, second attempt. This is supposed to be like a quick and easy video with a minimum of edits, and I screwed up the first attempt so bad, having to add like little voiceovers and having to create video segues and stuff, that I just decided, you know what, it'd be easier just to shoot it again, and hopefully it will be a better experience for everyone, myself included. So yes, in surround. This is a topic near and dear to my heart, and hopefully it will resonate with you. I don't know if those of you watching have every single Yes Surround title known to mankind, or perhaps you have none, or perhaps you have just a sampling. And so hopefully in any case, this video will either be a celebration for you, it will be an education for you, and it might end up being expensive for some of you. Well, let's start with getting out of the way the thing that I'm least excited about. So that would be the Yes concert videos. I have several that I enjoy very much, but it really is just a performance thing. I don't have a great memory for how good the video quality is across the ones that I like. And I'm left with the impression that there's nothing remarkable about the live surround mixes. You have your band up front and your hall ambience all around you. Now, the one possible exception could be, the exception I'm aware of, could be the House of Blues, Live at the House of Blues DVD. And the reason I say that is Homeworld appears in the credits, and it's definitely discreet, though lossy, because it's a DVD video. And some of those Live from House of Blues tracks appear on this special DVD audio, and I just don't remember how well spread around the room any of the musical instrumentation is. So I'd have to go back and listen to Yours Is No Disgrace, Your Move, I've Seen All Good People, Owner of a Lonely Heart, and Roundabout again to jog my memory of how discreet they are. I don't think they are. So I'm just going to say that's the one exception. Now, so that does lead me to this disc, JVC Special Edition, kind of a sampler. It's got several tracks from Magnification DVD audio, and it's got several tracks, live tracks from Live from House of Blues. But the aforementioned, it also has Homeworld from the latter. And actually, it first appeared, I believe, in a video game. I believe the song was composed and mixed into surround for a video game. And that video game might have been called Homeworld, if I recall. In any case, Homeworld is just so special for me. I happen to like the latter. I kind of consider it to be a bit of a latter-day Fragile in how diverse the compositions are, and I think that certain band members kind of take lead on some of the tracks, and that should be reminiscent of Fragile, if you're familiar. And Homeworld is kind of this mini epic. I can't remember if it's 8 or 9 or 10 minutes long, but it sort of has like a little bit of everything that Yes does. And I just love it. I just love it. I will often put on this DVD audio, which I found on eBay once upon a time. It wasn't that bad. Maybe it was under 20 bucks. It's under 20 or 30 bucks. I will put this on just for Homeworld. And I actually like the selections from Magnification too. I would say that they hit the highlights from the album. So when I put this on, sometimes I'll start at track 1, listen to those 5 Magnification tracks, and then Homeworld, and sometimes I'll start to drift when the live stuff comes on. But anyway, very cool disc. If you didn't know about the JVC Special Edition DVD audio, and particularly the track Homeworld on it, please do yourself a favor, track this down. Now, if you hate Homeworld, then don't bother. But I love it, and I'm just sharing that love with you. Alright, so since we have mentioned the Magnification, at some length, let's just go there. Magnification received its own DVD audio. The idea here is that Yes wanted to fill in their ambient sounds and styling and motifs that would ordinarily come from a virtuoso keyboard player, but assign those roles to a symphony. And so it's Yes plus symphony. I'm not crazy about every single song on here. For me, just in terms of musicality, it'd probably be like middle of the pack as far as Yes albums go. But it sounds great, and I like it quite a bit. But like I said, the tracks that work best for me are already on the JVC special edition. So maybe at some point I'll give myself another listen through this. And if it is as, mid-level as I remember it being for me, maybe I'll put it up for sale. We'll see. Because I'm certainly out of room on my DVD audio area of my bookshelf. Okay, now that leads us to the meat and potatoes of this Yes review. Yes in Surround, the series of Blu-ray CD packages that I like to call box sets on Blu-rays. The box set on a Blu-ray series. I don't recall exactly in which order these were released, so I'm going to go in chronological order and just be aware that they got released a bit out of this order. Okay? And I'm not sure if any of these are in print or how crazy the prices are going on the out-of-print market. So if any of these capture your interest, I wish you all the luck. Okay? The Yes album. Steven Wilson 5.1 mix is just incredible. This, in my opinion, is the very beginning of Yes really catching their stride. They don't yet have the addition of Rick Wakeman, and so I guess my one critique of this album would be that some of the keyboard parts come across to me as a little bit pedestrian, but forgivably so, and the songs all gel, and there are just some ultra classics on here. Starship Trooper, among many others. So it's an incredible record. It is some people's favorite Yes record, and it's some people's favorite Yes 5.1 mix. It really does this album justice, and I recommend it. All right, so then moving on. Fragile. The mighty Fragile. As you can tell, I'm a fan of the album. It is not only probably my favorite Yes album, but it's even like way up there in just my list of favorite albums. This is a very unique approach to album making. You have 4 ensemble pieces where all the band are sort of, sharing more or less equal duties. And then you have 5 tracks, each of which are led or oriented toward or sort of like meant to showcase each of the 5 members of the band. And just an incredibly inventive way to approach an album, and it doesn't even sound to me like describing it that way as if it would likely really work out, but it does. You get an ensemble piece, and then you get some solo, dedicated to members of the band pieces. Then you get an ensemble piece, and then more of the dedicated ones. And you start out with Roundabout, you end with Heart of the Sunrise. You have South Side of the Sky and Long Distance Runaround in the middle of the record. And oh my gosh, this record is just magic. It's just magic. Our world really is fragile, and they were beginning to preach that message long ago. So this record is just very near and dear to my heart. Like I said, it's a box set on a Blu-ray. It not only has Steven Wilson's 2015 5.1 mix, I believe, but it also comes with the original 2002 DVD audio 5.1 mix, which if you compare them, you may agree with me that the 2002 mix is inferior. Steven Wilson just nailed things like the track levels relative to each other, really spreading instrumentation around the room almost all the time, and The 2002 mix just doesn't sound as good, it's not mastered as well, it's not leveled as well, the transitions don't work as well, and it's just less discreet. Sometimes there's very, very little going on in the surrounds that are just used as accents. You also get like instrumental mixes, you get alternate takes, you get stuff that didn't quite make the record, you get early takes, almost like demo stage, so you get to hear South Side of the Sky not being quite so heavy, and so like you're even more grateful for how heavy it turned out. For a Yes track, it almost rivals, you know, like the heavy metal genre. Anyway, Fragile, oh my gosh. You can get this CD 5.1 set also in DVD audio. It just won't come with as many features. So I recommend you seek out this Blu-ray, okay? And since it has the 2002 mix, there's just no need to go after the DVD audio or the SACD, which also carried that same mix, okay? So moving right along, close to the edge, down by the river. This is just, wow, quintessential prog rock. It's indulgent, it's sprawling, it's weird, it's got spiritual overtones. It's a magnificent, magnificent work. And this set, being a box set on Blu-ray, has lots of extra features, one of which is Yes's cover of America by Simon and Garfunkel, which has, for a long, long time, since I heard it tacked on to an old Rhino release, CD release of Fragile, it's just such a great track. So I'm glad that it's included here. I'm not sure why it has appeared sometimes on Fragile extended releases and now on Close to the Edge. Maybe it was recorded in this session. Let's just go with that, since I'm not sure. Anyway, I feel like this might be Steven Wilson's weakest approach to Yes in 5.1, but it still is plenty entertaining. It's very revealing, and in my opinion, it's just too revealing. So I feel like some of the gelling that works for the stereo mix is lost. And so like you get some parts that are overexposed and were meant to be blended and now are so separate that they just aren't working quite as well together. An example would be like lead and harmony vocals. I feel like those are done better in the original stereo mix, okay? But still quite worth checking out, even for all the special features. As a CD, so you know I can play it in the car. So plenty of value for me. And I do like and enjoy the 5.1 mix. I just would be remiss if I didn't say that I think it has some minor issues and it doesn't quite live up to the other mixes. Tales from Topographic Oceans. This is such a special box set on a Blu-ray. It's got CDs, it's got at least one Blu-ray. I think it's got 2 CDs and a Blu-ray. Anyway, why is this one special? A, when it had not yet come out, I think the rumor mill was suggesting that it was possible, but I think Relayer had already come out, and some people were guessing that Relayer may have been the end of this series. So it was just so incredibly, you know, unexpected and surprising and joyfully so when it was announced that Tales was coming out. Tales is a divisive album. Some Yes fans love it, some feel like it was a bridge too far in the proggy, sprawling, indulgent direction. For me, Tales has never really worked in stereo, like I'll wander and just sort of get lost. It always has had some really special parts to it, but I felt like you had to do a lot of work to get to those parts. In surround, I am so drawn in that the whole album feels very digestible, palatable to me, and yeah, it's just a much more magnificent experience, and I'm happy that it received the 5.1 mix that it has. This 5.1 mix is on point. It serves the music and it engages the listener and helps me get through the entire double album. Though sometimes I will listen to half in one sitting and half in another, because I do like to break up double albums just for, you know, getting up off my butt. All right? And then the other thing is that, yeah, I always love it when a surround mix is able to kind of snatch an album out of inaccessibility for me and cause it to become one of my favorite albums. And at this point, I would say that Tales is among my favorite Yes records. All right, so I definitely recommend seeking that one out if you can. And then, like I said, that brings us to Relayer. And this is a really hard album for me to sink my teeth into, surround or not. And it could just be that by this point the band had lost Bruford and Wakeman, and maybe this lineup just doesn't deliver like the kind of musicality that I'm looking for. Fair enough. All right, and so I didn't want to neglect to talk about some of the Yes kind of side projects, solo efforts. So John Anderson just released Olias of Sunhillow in CD, DVD, video format, and the DVD features some of the album upmixed into 5.1. And since I've never owned a physical copy of Olias, I have only ever heard it in MP3. I went ahead and picked up that set. It's on its way. It was only 20 bucks, so what the heck. Some people are saying that the 5.1 upmix is actually pretty good. Other than that, Rick Wakeman had an album come out recently. I think it was supposed to get a 5.1 upmix, and I'm not even sure it did, but I'm just not that interested. Rick Wakeman has some older quad stuff, some of which has been rescued and put on to optical formats. Like I have Journey to the Center of the Earth over there, and like that is not sourced from the Quad Master, but actually a friend of Quadrophonic Quad, I think it was Army of Quad, gave his commercial copy to be used as the source for the quad rendering there. And while that is less than ideal, it's also better than nothing. And Journey to the Center of the Earth is a fun listen. It's a little goofy, but it's charming. I like it. And then kind of some Easter eggs spread throughout the room. There's Squack It back there, which is just okay. And there's Chris Squire's Fish Out of Water, which gladly received a standalone Blu-ray not too long ago. So if you weren't interested in the deluxe set, which featured a lossy DVD video, you have the opportunity to spend way less and get a higher quality surround product with Fish Out of Water. And let me see, I am doubtless forgetting something, so why don't you educate me and our other surround loved ones in the comments below. But I'll just wrap up the video talking about The Quest coming out. It's a new Yes album. I am not sure how I feel about the current lineup. I really haven't heard a whole lot of their material, so I'm curious about your thoughts. Do you think The Quest is worth checking out when it is released pretty soon? It comes in a variety of different packages, all the way from pretty sparse with no surround to pretty packed out, but there is, I think, a CD Blu-ray version. And yeah, I'm interested in your thoughts. You know, talk me into it or talk me out of it. I really want to know, like, how many of you are interested in The Quest, what size package you're going to go for, and for me, I'm going to keep it economical if I'm even interested at all. Like, I gave the recent Kansas a chance, even though that's pretty light on original members, and I like it. And I gave the last Styx 5.1 album a chance, again, even though that's missing some original members, but I like it. So hey, if it's a good album, it's a good album. I sure wish that some beloved members were still in the group, but I'm willing to check it out if you guys can talk me into it. All right, so I hope you have enjoyed this rundown of Yes in Surround. I sure have enjoyed filming it. I believe I can now get this out to you with a minimum of edits and other kinds of frustration, and I hope it's enjoyable for everybody. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave your comments, share the video, everything that helps get this channel out to other people, which helps promote this beloved hobby of ours, this love of music in surround. And until next time, live life in surround.